So Valerie, absolute pleasure to have you here in Manchester with Monopoly Events for Comic Con Manchester, surrounded by your boys' co-stars. Obviously, it was emotional to wrap on season 5, but it's nice to get to see the rest of the cast members at events like this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think that's one of the... You holding this for me? Okay, great. Lovely.
You can relax.
I think that's one of the sort of takeaways, too, with the show is realizing that we're not saying goodbye to each other. Like this cast is so close, and also this story has such a life that luckily we get to see each other at events like this. We'll get to see each other as we roll out the new season, and we're all really excited to do that.
And you only joined last season, season 4, but to see the impact of your character at events like this, to see the love from the fans, is it quite overwhelming? Because you haven't been there from the start, but you've seen how big the show has become. You knew how big the show was when you were joining it. Yeah,
I had that sort of unique experience. Susan and I both did when we joined in season 4 because it had already become this juggernaut. So we also were lucky because the rest of the cast could kind of prepare us for what it was going to be like. And it's amazing to come to these. And I think I was a little bit nervous because obviously Firecracker is horrible. I was like, who's going to like her? Who are these people going to be? And it's like, the fans are so lovely. And also it's really gratifying to see that the people who love the character and love the show are people who understand it. So it's just great how many people tell me that they love to hate me because that's exactly what I'm going for.
Well, I mean, you're sharing the screen with Anthony as Homelander. When you talk about characters we love to hate, there's none bigger than that on television right now. What was it like having seen him on TV before, watching the show before, to seeing him transition from Anthony to Homelander on set? Must have been insane, right?
Not really. Everyone in the cast is such a serious and committed actor. Everybody takes the scene work really seriously. They take the characters really seriously. And everybody's showing up at 150%. It's part of what I loved about joining the cast is getting to really just like go for it from jump. And, and he's no different. Everyone has to perform sort of at their edge, which is really exciting. You never exactly know what to expect. And that's what doing scenes with him is like as well.
You mentioned numerous times now, your character, Firecracker, is someone that you hate. But you also have to humanize the character to get inside their mind and understand the way she ticks, what makes her work. How complex is that for you as an actor? And is that something that you like to thrive in? Because it's not a straightforward role for you, is it? It's not easy to do that.
Yeah, that is what I love to do. Playing villains is always more interesting, people sort of acting from their brokenness and in a way that it's okay to be ugly, Sometimes I feel like when you're a protagonist, you have to be likable. And in some ways that's harder to do because it's sort of less real, And so the thing with Firecracker, I think the trickier part is the hateable part because there's the parody that she is. There's the satire, everything she's representing in politics right now. And then there's the person behind it. And all the soups are that way. They have like their mask and then they have their humanity. And the humanity to me is always what I grounded in as an actor, So that is in some ways the more comfortable space for me. It was really a new challenge to perform in this kind of like meta level of a character who is themselves performing, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
And getting to do both and like find the pivot point was really interesting. And that I think is like one of my favorite things about being on the show and playing this character in particular is those swift pivot moments.
I've spoken to Anthony, Laz, Chase, the rest of the cast that were here this weekend as well about their craziest day or moment on set, because everyone's got a story, haven't they? What was a moment you read in the script where you're like, this is insane, this is going to be crazy to film, and then it even exceeded your expectations when you filmed it and then when you watched it back on television as well? Something that stands out for you?
Well, I feel like the easy answer is episode 6 in season 4, which is the sort of infamous nursing scene with Homelander. Yeah. But that one wasn't a surprise. Kripke had given me some warning about that. Yeah. So there were a lot of like conversations, and if anything, what was so great about it was that Anthony and I both showed up with the same point of view, that we wanted to actually treat this quite seriously, quite vulnerably and emotionally, and that would be weirder. So I was so happy to see that the way that played, and that it was, I think, the way that we both intended. I think the more shocking thing to see that was so fun is that I was going to do a duet with the Deep. And then like me going into the booth and recording it and then hearing what he did and doing that on stage was just like, it was just so fucking funny. It was so funny and it was so fun.
I've asked every one of the other cast members this question. Marvel and DC characters crossing over to the Boys universe, getting that R-rated spin on them. Who would you like to see Firecracker go toe-to-toe with from the Marvel and DC universe? And how do you think these characters would survive in the Boys universe? Because it is very, very different. It is crazy in that universe.
I'm a terrible person to ask this question.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
I'm not a big superhero viewer.
I saw your eyes change then.
I was like, oh God.
I thought you was trying to think of too many options.
Well, the other thing is the fact that like everyone would kick Firecracker's ass, you know? Like she said, she's very strong. She has soup strength, but like she's a Bic lighter, you know what I mean? Like what's she gonna do?
True.
I mean, maybe like I don't know, Batman without his toys because he's just a dude, right? And she's stronger than him probably. So
and he, like you said, he's just a guy. He's usually wounded, usually limping around.
He's just a whiny rich boy. He's just a 1% guy who likes his toys. Okay, yeah, I'll fucking take Batman.
Shots fired. Finally, Gen V, and we've got Vought Rising. So we've got Gen V Season 2 coming up and Vought Rising. The Boys Mexico as well. How excited are you to just watch these spin-offs as a fan now? And obviously you're going to take that call if you get a call up to come back.
I mean, of course, anybody would take that call. You know, I think it's really cool, especially with Vought Rising, because like Gen V is really special because, you know, it's not a prequel, it's not a sequel, it is an expansion of the world. And there is, like, as you know, there's crossovers. But I'm particularly excited to see Vought Rising, partly because I can't wait to see Jensen and Aya's performances. I love something that's a period piece, you know? And it's really exciting to see where the world comes from. I always think origin stories are really interesting.
Amazing. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure to speak with you. And I can't wait for season 5. We can't talk about it, but hopefully the next time you're at a convention, we can geek out about it when it's all been and done. But thank you.
I can't wait.